This is the model 48 Deluxe. It's our Lang smoker cooker, the offset firebox with a reverse flow design. It features an all welded, flame-proof drip and grease pan, which is a griddle in our cooker. It just really is the ticket for cooking. I'm going to show you how to fire it up today, and I'm also going to show you how to bring it to temperature to cook and how to clean it out after you finish cooking. So what we've done here, instead of using, a lot of folks will use a propane log lighter type thing, we're using a little bit of kindling right here, and we're going to light it up and let the kindling do its thing and get that wood hot for us. All right, we're opening up our doors and dampers to set the cooker up. We're going to make sure that the dampers are open, and the pinwheel dampers are open on the firebox. Make sure the flue in the smokestack is open. Make sure the door on the cooker is open. And you want to raise the nose of the cooker up when you can so that the heat's flowing up the hill today. So bring the nose up so that when the heat's drafting out of that firebox, it's running up the hill instead of going down the hill. When you get a piece of wood, you want something that's dry. Still got some moisture in it, you can hear it. When you've got the option of the wind, you want to turn it so that the fan, the flame is scooting, the wind scooting in the tail, fanning the flame. And you can see why. That's why it'll start drafting like it's supposed to there. Now we'll go from this smoky mess here to a clean burning bed of coals and embers. The firing mode for your cooker, of course, is like we said, pinwheel dampers open, firebox or smokestack damper open, firebox door open, cooker door open. Now once you got a draft started, the door's done its job, you close it to what's called open latch position, right over the latch. Let it sit there and draft. That's a good position to cook in when you're having to grill and you need high temperatures. Leave it propped open like that, it'll get super hot for you. Now when you get your cooker drafting properly, you'll be able to close your firebox door. Until then, we're gonna leave it open until it gets drafting like we want. And when you get your temperature starting to make its run here and climb up, the propped open latch position's done its job. Close the door and go ahead and seal it out. The thing to do is come back here to your wood and let some air get in there. Stoke it a little, or just kind of move it around with a poker and get some air going in the coals. The idea is you want all this burned down to a hot bed of coals and embers by the time you get ready to cook. And this is where it all starts right here. And letting plenty of air get to the fire. If we close it up right now, the temperature will be falling out and we won't have enough heat to cook, and we'll have more smoke than we need. But this is what we're after right here. And you can see it running straight down the flue, running all the way down in the cooker. And if you notice, your temperature, it's starting to make its climb. It'll start running a little bit. Now on a new grill like this, we would have sprayed the cooking racks, and up at the top of the cooker, sprayed everything with a good cooking oil, like a PAM. Spraying the warmer box racks, everything associated with the food inside the cookers. Spray them with the cooking oil and then fire it up like this and get it hot and let that oil burn into that metal. You want that oil to fry in there and much like a cast iron skillet would in an oven. And after we do that for a while, we're going to put some water to it and make some steam, and then we're going to let smoke cure the metal. And when we get done, then we'll have a blackened and seasoned cooker. When you've got your cooker going, to set it up like we talked about, you leave this firebox door propped open initially, letting that heat get drafting like you want. You notice your temperature is starting to make its climb here. we'll get away from the smoke and we'll have pure heat here in a little while coming out of this cooker. This went up over, it's a couple hundred degrees, so this has done its job here. Just take and close your firebox door like so. It's done its job, and let it get up to temperature like you want. You can see our temperature's starting to come up a little bit. I'm gonna open this door and get a little better draft. You can see the condensation coming off the steel as it's heating up. The idea is to get the steel hot and get it ready to get it to sweat out, get the moisture out of it so it's ready to sear some meat. The reason you don't want a flat type apparatus to cook in is that condensation will rise and cling to the top of the flat apparatus, and that old metal condensation will just drip right on the food you're cooking. Whereas in a cylinder, it'll rise and roll to the front and the back, much like it's doing here. That's why it's on that door. It's going to roll out, and you'll see it in a few minutes dripping out through the bottom of this door. You can see it, we're starting to do it right there where the condensation will come out as the metal sweats. And when you get your temperature right, you can get up over a couple hundred, 250 there, you're getting close to 300. You've let the cooker get hot and the oil's burned in. It's time to steam clean and clean out the cooker for the sake of seasoning, which is also the way that you, after you finish cooking, you bring it back up to a hot temperature and then you hose it out, and that's the way you clean out your cooker. Right now we're going to make a little steam. We're going to do it by just spraying water on a hot grill. Now we're not putting enough water in there to crack and make anything ping. We're just wanting a cleaning action going on to get that thing cleaned up. We're going to do the same thing here in the warmer. Clean it out. Let me open up that damper. Put a little more smoke through there. Just like that. And this is the way you want to keep it cleaned up after cooking. You want to wire brush it and get any debris out of there. You want nothing in your cooker that would be rancid the next time you cook. You want to have a sterilized cooking instrument. And this is the way you get it. The consistency of a champion comes from a clean grill. Now that we've steam cleaned our cooker, we're going to run smoke through it for the sake of curing the metal. It's the only time you really run smoke through the cooker is during the curing phase. During the cooking phase, you're running heat through it like this. You want clear heat exhausting out of that smokestack. Look at this smokestack here now. See the clear heat resonating out of it? That's what you want when you cook it. Now in a few minutes, we're going to make it start smoking there. And the reason we're doing it is to cure the metal. That is not the way you cook. If you're making smoke during the cooking process, you're losing heat, and you're not going to brown caramelize that meat like you want. All right, first thing we do to make smoke is we pull the air back on these pinwheel dampers. We bring it way back. Pull the pinwheel dampers back, almost shut, just a sliver open, just to feather them, so to speak. You take and pull this down. Look at your smokestack now. See how we're doing here? That clear heat's gone. We're fixing to smoke things up here and cure this metal in. And she's going to sit here for about an hour or so, maybe 2 hours, and do just what you see right here. Make a bunch of smoke to cure that metal. But when we come back and open that grill up in a little while, you're going to see nothing but seasoned racks, blackened and oiled, and cleaned because we steam cleaned them.